In this video, I want to briefly go over the TVIPSconverter user interface. You see here in the first step, what we will want to do is convert the TVIPS data file into an HDF5 intermediate file. This is because the HDF5 will be much easier to browse and process further on in the second step. So what we want to do first is browse to our TVIPS data file. And I'll just go over here and select one. This one I know doesn't contain as much data. And what we want to do in the first step is process the images that are inside. So there's a couple of options that I provide here. You can, well, let's first create a preview to show you what's inside. So this is extracting the first image from this file and plotting it here in this preview. And what we can do is process the image itself. So we can cut off intensity above a certain level. We can bin the image. So let's do that. Let's bin the image. You can see that here our original image inside the file is 1K by 1K. And when we will use binning, of course, it's going to decrease by a factor of 4 the size. We can apply a filter to the image, so if you have noisy data, that can be a little bit mitigated with these either median or Gaussian filter. Let's select Gaussian filter. Linear intensity scaling is necessary for when you have really bright spots in your image and really dim ones. So you want to bring down, for example, this one if you want to make the dimmer spots appear brighter, let's say. For example, let's change this into 300. Then you can, if we press create preview, you see that this image has become slightly more pixelized. We have a smaller image and the less bright parts appear more intense. If we decrease this further, for example, you can see that the spots have become even brighter. Let's go with this setting. Apply column offset correction is some correction that was in the original code from the TVIPS people, but in fact I'm not 100% sure what it does. You can play with it if you like. I kept the option open. Now the red circle that you see here is the virtual bright field aperture. The virtual bright field intensity will be calculated and stored inside the HDF5 file when you press the conversion, when you start the conversion. So you need to make sure that this is already using good settings. So right now it's not really centered over the bright spot, so we will decrease the radius here to maybe 6 and change the offset to a little bit more left and a little bit more down. Down is positive Y. We can check again whether this is better. This looks about right. And then what we do is we will browse again to select a location where we want to save out our HDF5 file. So I'll put it on the desktop here and I'll just save it in, let's do stream 3, that HDF5. And you can check that this is the path that you selected. And when we press start conversion, it will block the UI and show you the progress here when it's converting to HDF5. And when it's done, it will say successfully exported to HDF5. So now we have converted this TVIPS file into HDF5 with processing the images and calculating the virtual bright field intensity. Now we would be ready to go to the second step, and here we have to select our HDF5 file. Now I'm not going to select the stream 3, I'm going to select one where I knew that actually there was a scan information inside. So you will see that when I select this one I made before making this video. and it will automatically extract some metadata from inside the file, the total number of images, the image size, and then it will give you its best guess for when the scanning started, when the scanning ended, what the final rotator index is. If you don't know what that is, you should read the README file. And then the estimated scan dimensions. So if you're happy with these settings, then you don't have to look so much in here. You will have to adjust probably the hysteresis. So to check whether these settings are okay, we can construct a virtual bright field image. And this is actually more or less the best it's going to get. If you change the hysteresis over here, let's say some really ridiculous value like 30, you will see that this is totally offset. So this just shifts even pixel rows over by a certain amount. So 5 is actually, I found, more or less good in most cases. You can adjust the visual here, the brightness contrast of the virtual bright field image with these sliders, but it doesn't really do anything on the calculation side. You can export this virtual image as it's shown in here, as you wish, but the main thing is, of course, we will want to export our file to a BLO format, and we can do that by, well, I already wrote it out here, but I'll just show you. So I'll overwrite this test.blo file, and all we have to do is start conversion, and it's going to use these settings to extract the data from the HDF5 file and construct the scan data, let's say. Another thing you can do is export individual images. Here you have to provide a first frame, a last frame, a data type, so you can export either as a uint8 or uint16 type image. You browse to a path, you start the export. And that's basically it. If this does not look good with the normal settings, or if it doesn't find some of these, that means that there may be something wrong with your scan data, or it just wasn't able to find good scan dimensions. Then you will have to use these settings of using custom scan dimensions, or even using custom scan frames. So here you will have to manually define at which frame the scanning started. And that's it for this video. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope this allows you to convert your TVIPS data into other formats.